It's Martyn Ford here. I've been shooting a movie for the last 4 months, but I am coming back, and what I want to do is take you through the journey with me. So if I can teach you anything during this next couple of training videos, it'll be an absolute pleasure. We're going to talk about time and attention, we're going to talk about drop sets, we're going to talk about force reps, we're going to educate you on how to train properly and how to get the most out of each session. Okay, so we're starting our first exercise today is incline dumbbells. What I like to do is make sure we get a really good warm up. It's really important that you move enough weight to get enough blood into the muscle before you really start to try and stress it. So we'll probably do 3 or 4 warm up exercises, but only for the first exercise of the day. Okay, so the reason I like choosing a dumbbell exercise is it causes the body to really stress itself and really work. If you go into machines that are fixed, you're not using the secondary muscles as much. You're not using the muscles, the stabilization muscles, okay? So what I want to try and do is to make sure while we're at our freshest, we challenge the body with the most difficult exercise. So you'll see the warm-ups tend to last anywhere between 8 to 12 repetitions. I don't want to go into a 15 to 20 repetition range because you're not really warming the body up as much as you're burning it out. Now, if we're hitting 15 to 20 repetitions, and our priority goal is to add muscle, we're basically taking gas out of the tank for the journey ahead. So the warm-up exercises are literally just that. They're to warm up the body, but more importantly, they're to warm up the brain, the mind, to get the focus, get the energy, and get yourself feeling ready for your working set. We're only going to do 1 working set for every single exercise, but you'll really see the difference between the warm-ups and the working set. The working set is when we're going to throw all the advanced training techniques in. So as you can see, what we're doing still is the warm-up. Liam's going to do his last set of warm-up now, which is 30 kilos. His working set's going to be 50 kilos, okay? So 8 to 10 if you want to chuck them up, bud. Okay, let's flick them back. Right, nice and controlled. Up and down. Good. So you'll see, we're making sure that the movement is still quite controlled. He's getting a really good stretch on the muscle. He's making sure that when we come down, we're really going to start the push motion from the deepest position we can be in. What we don't want to do is start doing half repetitions and using the triceps and the front delt to do the press. So by coming deep, we're really engaging the whole of the chest in this exercise. Incline dumbbell press hits the upper part of the chest, okay? There are 2 parts to the chest. There's the lower part and there's the upper part. It's very easy to understand what exercises hit what. If the bench is of an incline, you're hitting the upper part of the chest. If the bench is flat, you're hitting the lower part of the chest. It's really important that we do not neglect one or the other. Now that's it, 2 more. 1 more, nice and easy. And drive. It's good. Right, so like I said, only use the straps when necessary. This is my first heavy working set. I'm going to go with the psychological mindset of complete failure. Come on, easy. All in the mind. Yep. You, good. Yep, and again, come on, control, good. Feel the moment, feel it, good. And again, up. Come on, keep pushing, and again. Push. Come on, Mark, been light work, man, and again, keep moving. Good, and again. Keep moving. Easy. Come on, drive. Up. Good, light work. Keep going. Up. All you. Come on, all you. Here we go, and again. Let's go. Let's move. Drive. Drive. As you see, I did 15 repetitions, which is outside the range that I really want to be doing. So we're going to kill it there. I'm going to move on to a bar where we can add whatever weight we need to. Never be afraid to change the routine. Always come in and train. Understand what body part you're going to train, but never have a set plan of what you're going to do. Because one day you'll come in, you'll feel really strong. Next day you come in, you might feel tired. All of this is affected by sleep, life, food. So you can never really pre-plan ahead exactly what you're going to do to really get the most out of exercise, especially weight training. The element of surprise is awesome. Never let the body know exactly what you're going to do, and never repeat what you've done the week before. You've got to keep changing, you've got to keep shocking, and you've got to keep setting new goals. That's the best way to get the results. Okay, we're on to the second exercise of the day, which is a flat bench press, barbell press. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work with time and attention. So basically there's 4 points to this. There's the lowering phase, the holding phase, the push phase, and the top phase. So you can alternate all 4 variants. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on the negatives first of all. So we're going to come down in 4 seconds. We're going to hold it over the chest, somewhere between 1 to 2 seconds, and then we're going to explode up. This is a phenomenal way to train for hypertrophy, which is muscle build. So we've done the warm-ups, we're ready to go. We haven't got crazy weight on the bar. Now, when you're using time and attention techniques, it's really important that the weight is it's achievable. There's no point having an excessive amount of weight on and not being able to control the bar and to feel the movement. The whole point of this exercise is that we're recruiting and we're really contracting on the exercise. So leave the ego at home. Make sure you're using a weight that is achievable for the rep range that we're looking for. Ideally, we want between 6 to 8 repetitions on this. And remember, we're going to be going down slow, holding for a brief second, and then driving up. I'll take Liam through his first working set using time and attention. Okay, let's fall back. Okay, nice and controlled. Now let's take it up. Now on 4 seconds on the lowering, go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the stretch. 1, explode fast. Good. Okay, take it down slow. 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold the stretch. Explode up. Good. There's 2. Let's go. Down slow. 2, 3, and 4. Drive up. Let's go. Come on. Take it down slow and controlled. Hold the stretch and drive up all the way. Let's go. Take it down slow. And explode. Breathe out, breathe out. Come on. Take it down nice and slow. And push up. Okay, if you bring the camera up here, have a look at his face now. This will allow you to really see how hard this is going to get. Take it down really slow, really slow, really slow. Hold. Boom. Up. Up. Come on. Up. Yep. Good. Okay, I'm a massive advocate of using equipment correctly. I see so many people use and wear stuff and it doesn't really make sense. What we've got here are wrist straps. Now, I only tend to use wrist straps during really heavy compound movements where my joints and the muscles around them are under pressure. So basically what these do is they add an extra layer of protection. So if you are doing heavy shoulder press, clean and press, bench press, dumbbell bench press, barbell bench press, anything that involves a pushing motion and puts excessive strain on the joints, these bad boys, absolutely perfect. However, if you're doing deadlifts, pull downs, leg extensions, squats, complete waste of time. So make sure you buy the right equipment for the necessary job ahead. Very simple to apply. You got a little thumb strap. You wrap it under your wrist. You want it so it's tight, but not cutting off blood supply. And you finish it off like that. Now, what I tend to do is I use this to set up, but I will take the thumb strap off. And there you have the support around the wrist. Again, remember, this is predominantly for shoulder press, chest press, big pressing compound movements. Okay, so make sure you understand what you're wearing and why you're wearing it. If you're gonna use these, and you're doing a lightweight for lateral raise, for instance, which is a side motion, you're going to find that it's going to cut the blood supply off and you're not going to benefit from the exercise, and the actual piece of equipment is going to be a hindrance rather than a help. So make sure you understand what you're wearing and why you're wearing it. If you imagine this weight, Liam could push out probably 12 to 15 repetitions quite comfortable. But because we're reducing the speed of the movement, what that means is it increases the intensity of the movement. Now, increasing the intensity is absolutely imperative for muscle growth. There's no point just bouncing a movement from A to B, because that's great for strength training, which will make you strong. But when it comes to hypertrophy, which is muscle building, you need to really force the body to work and make sure that you're making the most of the weight you've got on the bar with every single advanced technique you can. So I'm going to stick at the same weight. I'm going to try and show you a perfect time and attention set, working on the negatives.
That's it, fight it down. Drive. Good, and again, strong. Let's go. Keep going. Drive. Good, easy, and again. Keep your control, man, keep your control. Control. Drive, up, up. Good, and again, let's go, let's work. Nice and slow. Control, drive, drive. Easy, light work, and again. Come on, strong, 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 strong. Drive, drive, up, 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 up. Good.
Now, one thing to really make sure you focus on is that every single repetition, get a nice full stretch. You really want to make sure that you're utilizing the whole muscle in the chest. If you're only going down halfway, if it's not stretched fully, it's not working properly. So make sure you understand where the bar should be coming to, how the movement should feel, and also really importantly on the up phase, so when you're pushing up, be careful not to push out and lock out too much, because what that does, it takes the tension off the chest. So as soon as you come from here, if you can see that on camera, so that's the lockout. A lot of guys will do that, which then puts the weight on the tricep and the front delt, which in the shoulders, and it takes it off the chest. Now remembering, we're trying to create as much tension and as much constant tension on the muscle itself. As soon as you lose the weight on the muscle, you allow the muscle to relax. If the muscle's relaxing, it's like a tire that you're trying to pump up. Imagine you're pumping a tire up, you take the pump out, and the air just comes out the tire. That's exactly what you're going to be doing to the muscle. So keep that analogy in mind when you try and time the tension. Okay, so this is the second set. We've just done a set with controlled negatives. Now we're going to force some blood into the muscle. We're going to keep the time a more standard set, so we're not going to have 4 seconds on the drop. We're going to have 2 seconds on the drop. We're going to have between 1 and 2 seconds on the up phase, which is the push, and we're not going to hold at the top or the bottom. We're just going to get a continuous push. So this is basically going to pump as much blood into the muscle as possible. Now, what I'm also going to do to make it harder, I'm going to throw in a drop set. So when he hits his failure on this weight, we're going to re-rack it. We're going to take off 40 kilos. Then Liam's going to press as many as he can, and that's going to be a faster rep range. So the first rep range is 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up, which is still quite hard. Once we fatigue the muscle at that rep range, we take the weight off and we allow him to go faster, which makes it easier, but it allows us to recruit and to drive more blood into the muscle, giving him a greater pump, ultimately more size. Go! All right, control, take it down. And drive, 1, good. 2, okay, notice the speed is nice and powerful. We're not asking him to drag the movement too much, we just want nice constant speed and we want to get as many repetitions out as possible. I'm going to give him probably 1 to 2 forced repetitions. A forced repetition is when I help the bar come up. Now the reason we do forced repetitions is because that is the concentric phase. Here we are, in and now. And drive up! As you can see, you can't take the push, but on the lowering, up we go. Right, hold it, last set, take it low. On the lowering, he's quite strong. Up! Now we're gonna go into a drop set. So I'm gonna take 40 kilos off the bar, and Liam will be able to control this. We want him to go straight back into the exercise, and we're not gonna do any forced repetitions on this. This is gonna be natural failure, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna go as many as you can, take the bar up, as many as you can, until the bar doesn't move. So you'll notice this is full extension here. And as I spoke about earlier, look at the shoulder and the chest. The chest is staying higher than the shoulder, which means we're recruiting chest fibers and we're not allowing the bar to rest. Drive it up. Drive it. See how he's getting lower and lower? Let's go. He's still pushing it, so it's still working. Now we're working the outer part of the chest. And up. And finish. So you stay there. When you're on the stretch of the bar, you'll be hitting here. When you're coming up on the push, the muscle changes and it comes around. So what we don't want to do is just stop on the full range. So by allowing him to go up to where his sticking point is, that'll get that part of the movement stronger, which then means the next time he comes through, he'll probably be able to go a little bit higher. And that's how the muscle becomes stronger. We build up in stages, almost like a pyramid. So he'll be getting stronger, 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 and he'll have his extra repetition. And a good way to monitor muscle strength and size is the amount of repetitions you do. Your body will be a representation of how you improve in the gym. Okay, now if you remember back to the first exercise, we were doing a dumbbell bench press. And I said the reason we're using the dumbbells first was because the body's its freshest, and I also want to make sure that we use the stabilization muscles. Now we're coming towards the end of the workout. I really want to capitalize on putting as much emphasis and as much intensity on the muscle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the exercise now to a fixed machine, which does a couple of things for us. It allows us to stay in the same plane of movement on the exercise, but it also takes away the danger of pushing the exercise outside of the movement we want. And by that I mean this is a bar that's fixed on a runner. So you're not worried about the stabilization muscles tiring out. We can fully focus on the primary muscle, which is the chest. So the reason we go into a fixed machine towards the end is 1, for safety, and 2, to really allow us to emphasize on the primary muscle during the workout. A lot of people don't like the Smith machine. A lot of people don't like fixed machines. For myself, I really see a massive advantage of using fixed machines towards the end of a workout. I wouldn't necessarily use them at the beginning, and I wouldn't use them for adding muscle mass, adding strength, because for that you really do want the stabilization muscles to take place. But to add it at the end, I think is a phenomenal way to completely fatigue the muscle.